Podcast Answer Man, episode number 45.
Hey, on Fries, this is CC Chapman from Managing the Gray, and you're listening to the Podcast Answer Man.
This show is sponsored by AG Design.
Need a new website, logo, or artwork for your podcast? Visit ageedesign.com today.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Podcast Answer Man. My name is Cliff Ravenscraft, and I am here today coming to you with a live podcast recording from Panera Bread in Springdale, Ohio at the New Media Cincinnati Meetup. So everybody, welcome to the show. Literally thousands of people have joined us in this small meeting room now. We have a great group of people here. This is our third official meeting of New Media Cincinnati. And today I'm recording a special demonstration podcast of how you can literally record a 10-minute podcast and have it produced and out on the web within 15 minutes of starting. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to introduce you to some of the folks that are here for this meetup. And the first person I'm talking with is Chris Biding. Chris, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
So, Chris, I'm giving everybody here an opportunity to say who they are and maybe what they're doing in new media or podcasting field. So why don't you go ahead and tell people?
Sure. My name's Chris, and you can find me on Twitter, which is twitter.com/biting. It's probably the hardest one to spell on there. It's BEITING. I also co-host a podcast with some guy. It's called Help I Got a Mac.
Really? That sounds like an excellent podcast.
The guy's got a great voice, too.
Yeah?
It's helpigotamac.com.
Sweet.
And, I have a blog, biting.org. And it's a Tumblr, so it's real short, sweet. I generally just post funny clips and videos and old TV shows on it.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much, Chris.
Yeah, thanks.
We're going to open up the mic and try to get as many people in here as possible. And next we have Daniel Lewis. And Daniel, tell us about what you're doing in new media.
Well, I'm a graphic designer at djosephdesign.com. I also now have two podcasts. I have just a little personal one on djosephdesign.com. And also my comedy podcast is on theramennoodle.com, which is podcasted seasoning packets of comedy from the life of a bachelor. And it's a place where I can have fun, where you can have fun. And I'm starting some new aspects to it soon is similar to the Ask a Ninja podcast. I want to have an Ask the Ramen Noodle episode where people can ask common questions like what kind of furniture should they get for a new home, and I'll recommend that they get a blender because a blender makes great pieces of furniture. And it's a place for fun, excitement, comedy. Join it.
Awesome.
TheRamenNoodle.com.
Now, I'll tell you what, the only issue that I have, in episode, I think it was 44, was talking about naming your podcast. And I must admit, I'm not the greatest person at spelling. And I know you personally, and I had to go search down a link from something else I knew that you did to find it. How do you spell ramen noodle?
Well, it is spelled TheRamenNoodle, but almost any way you spell it will probably take you there. And that cost me a lot of money to register all those domains.
Very cool. Thanks, Daniel, for coming out today. All right, who's up next? All right. And introduce yourself and tell us what you're doing in new media.
Hey, I'm Jesse Noctigal, and I go by Cigar Jack online on cigarjack.net. And primarily what I'm doing is cigar reviews and news from around the industry, along with tips for new cigar smokers, and just kind of round up some of the larger smoking bans happening in the nation.
So are you supposed to inhale those things?
No.
What is the purpose of a cigar?
It's relaxed enjoyment, and you're still going to get, some of the nicotine from it. So if you inhale, you're going to turn green.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. Very cool. So, and what's the website again?
Cigarjack.net.
Very cool.
So myself and about 3 or 4 other reviewers on the site.
Excellent. That sounds very cool. And do you have a podcast yet?
Not at this time, no. I'm looking at doing some video.
Oh, wow. That's going to be excellent. Very cool. All right. And next, it looks like we have Daniel Johnson Jr., which anybody who listens to any podcast that's ever been produced has heard his voice on a comment line somewhere.
How you doing, Cliff?
I'm doing great, man.
This is really fantastic to see you, how you have your setup and everything. So I do a podcast and blog and all that other stuff. If you search for Daniel Johnson Jr. Online, you probably will except for this French politician in Canada, you'll probably will find me. I'm about to release and record my 100th episode of The Journey Inside My Mind. 100 episodes.
100 episodes.
And so you can find that at jimmpodcast.com. And find me on Twitter at twitter.com/Daniel Johnson Jr.
That is so cool that you can fit that in there, because I wanted to get twitter.com/Cliff Ravenscraft, and I have to leave off the T because it was just too long.
So you just opted for
GSPN.
There you go.
All right.
Anybody else?
Who's up next? Anybody else want to promote their podcast, blog, or anything else? And we have a gentleman coming up now, and introduce yourself and tell us what you're doing in new media.
I'm Randy Weeks, and actually I'm just kind of re-exploring new media. I've been in the web since '94, and I got so immersed in doing it for a living that I kind of lost track of everything. It's like you pioneer and then you settle, and once you become a settler, you fall out of touch with everything. So just in the last year, we started playing with Twitter, and so I'm twitter.com/Randy Weeks.
All right. And how do you spell Weeks?
Weeks.
Gotcha.
And I have a personal website I've had up for many years at weeks.org, weeks.org. And my company's Netcrafters, and we own a site called Cincy.com, and we were talking about that before the show.
Right.
Cincy I and Cincy Y. We registered them both because we knew how easy it would be to get that mixed up. And we're just beginning to reinvent it, and we're coming to things like this because we're meeting all these talented people that are doing integrating Twitter and Facebook and talking about our community, talking about the possibilities for the community, and like you were talking about, discovering Cincinnati.
Absolutely.
So we're really excited about letting Cincinnati kind of shift out of its inferiority complex a little bit and build the community with the community. So it's just beginning, but just the past 2 meetings here has been great.
Awesome. And does anybody else want to come up and promote what they're doing in new media? We have another gentleman walking up to the microphone, and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Neil Smith from the Smith's Occasional Podcast.
And what's the website address?
The website address is Smith's Occasional with 3 S's at WordPress with 2 S's.com.
All right. And we'll put a link to that in the show notes if he allows me to take his card home with me. So anyway, Smith's Occasional Podcast. I would assume that that's an occasional podcast that the
Yes,
Smiths
it
put
is.
together.
We that's very, very, very clever. We do a podcast about once a month, and it's loosely tied around special occasions, holidays, and things like that. We talk mostly about the things we like. We talk about indie and electronic music. We talk about our favorite TV shows, a lot of food discussion. Just basically, it's Depeche Mode, Battlestar Galactica, crazy things like that.
Awesome. Well, very cool. Is there anybody else that wants to come up and promote anything that they're doing online at all?
Barbara's being shy.
Okay, we have Barbara KB here, which is totally awesome. And Barbara, do you want to share your top 25 list of do's and don'ts on Twitter? Because I know that I've lost track of them somewhere around rule number 17. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and end this podcast here. Before I do, I just want to say that if you live in a city or a town that does not have a meetup for people who are like-minded in the area of podcasting and new media, I definitely encourage you to do that because this is a great community. Everybody is so open and willing to help one another out in all the different aspects of podcasting. It's a great way to just do a lot of community building together and connection. And what's amazing is when you get involved with other people who are in the field of podcasting, of course, you get to know them and develop that relationship with them. That's one of the greatest way to promote your own podcast or blog or anything that you're involved in that you want other people to hear about. And so if anything, let this be an episode for those of you who are out there listening to this that, let this be an inspiration to you to get out and say, does anybody live in my area on Twitter, and say, would you like to get together and have a meetup? Our first meeting was 2 months ago, and we had how many people?
About 14 people.
We had about 14 people. So, and even if yours starts out with only 3 or 4 people, it will grow. I can guarantee you that, because this is something a lot of people are very interested in. And one of the other places you can go is meetup.com. And if you look there, it's very possible that there's a topic related to podcasting or new media where people are already just waiting to hear about somebody that's going to organize it. So maybe that person will be you. And with that, I say thank you for listening to this very short and brief episode of the podcast Answer Man.